Hey guys, avfc.fan74tv here. My name is Luke and today it is our first video content of the new season. We hope you guys enjoy this video. It's an interview with Villa on Tour, all the lads from Villa on Tour and Up the Villa podcast.
Where do I think we'll finish this season? Don't get me wrong, I think it's going to be a little bit more comfortable than last season when we came 17th. It was just too much stress at the end of the season. I don't think we're going to go mid-table just yet. I think 14th, 15th. Hopefully we'll be safe by sort of April time. Because I can't be dealing with last season again, that was just too much. In terms of the signings, as I'm filming this, we've just announced Martinez. When you're watching this, we might have signed a couple of wingers, Rashika, Traore. I think, you know, compared to last season where we were just splashing loads of money on lots of players, we're spending the same amount of money on, you know, fewer players, so the quality is much, much better. Martinez, fantastic signing. Ollie Watkins, he's going to score the goals. He's already scored a couple against Burton and Man United in the friendly, so that's an exciting one for sure.
Okay, so new season just around the corner. I'm quietly confident, a little bit more so than last season, with, well, having got a year under our belts now and the players that we're signing. I'm going to predict that we will finish maybe 13th, 14th, something like that. Yeah, 13th, 14th. It'll be fine this season.
I keep hearing in the media how it'd represent a good season for Villa to stay up again in the upcoming season, but for me I slightly disagree with that, in that obviously we stayed up last season by the skin of our teeth in the end, and you would look to improve sort of thing in the following season. So with the signings we've made, we have made some encouraging signings and a few still to be confirmed, obviously. And obviously with Jack Grealish's new contract being announced today, you've got to be optimistic about things. And while I'm not one of these who's going to say we're going to finish in the top 8 or the top 10 or anything like that, I would hope that we'd improve on last season's 17th finish. So for me, realistically, I think I'd go with a 12th, 13th position. And I think if that was the case, then I think all Villa fans should be absolutely delighted at that. It would represent real progress and give you that sort of safe and firm footing as you look to build the club.
I'm going to go for 12th. I feel like we're going to have a massive improvement on last season. We've made some really decent signings so far. Big news, Jack Grealish signed that new contract, which, you know, he's been sold a dream. So hopefully we can live up to that and, you know, fulfill the potential of why he has stayed, and we can see him grow. So I'm going to go for 12th. I think we'll be definitely better than last season. It's going to be a real exciting season and we can really push on and start to play a real nice brand of football.
You're everywhere and nowhere, baby.
In terms of the gaps and where we need to focus on, definitely on the wings, we need a couple of players there. El Ghazi and Trezeguet. I give a lot of stick to Trezeguet, but I just don't think they're at the level that we need. Like I said, when you're watching this, we might have signed a couple of players already, but, you know, versatile wingers who can maybe play up front and can offer an option there.
Yeah, so it seems that we are turning our focus to becoming a building club more than a selling club, which is a positive. Like, we'll keep hold of Grealish, I hope, McGinn, etc. I think the plan going into the window was to focus more going forward, which we've done and are still doing, but it was also nice to get some extra cover defensively. So yeah, we've improved all over the shop, all over the pitch, I think, so that's always a positive.
So the summer's really focused on improving our attacking talent, hasn't it? So obviously we're looking at bringing in Traore on the one wing. There's still rumours about Rashika on the other wing. Obviously we brought in Ollie Watkins. We need consistency from our wingers, because I think El Ghazi and Trezeguet, even though they showed snippets last season. The signing of Matty Cash, it looks like a good signing. Bit of a out of the blue, that one, to me, because I thought Gilbert had quite a good season in his first season. Obviously with Al Mohammed as backup, I was a little bit surprised they went for another right back. Young player, hungry, and I think he will be a good signing going forward. And then I think getting Martinez in goal. To me that's one of the biggest signings we could go for. Some people thought Heaton would be back for this new season. Sounds like he struggled a little bit with his ACL injury. Obviously Jed Steer being an able deputy, but also with injury problems of his own. we didn't want to have to go into the season relying on Nyland again. And so Martinez for me represents an ambitious deal from Villa. So we got him from a good side in Arsenal. And I think he could easily be Villa's number one for the next, 6, 7, 8 years, realistically, being 28. I would like another number 8 though, personally. I think at times we struggled in midfield last season. I think that was one of our biggest issues because Luiz and Nakamba took a while to get used to the Premier League. Obviously Luiz was brilliant after Project Restart, but before that, I felt that was the one area where we did struggle. And it's probably why we conceded quite a lot of goals. So I would like another number 8 to come in as well.
I feel like we've still got a few more signings to come, so definitely feel like we need to improve on the wingers. We need competitions for places. We need to have a nice bench as well that we can rely on. I'd like to see another striker come in as well. I think that's an area that we can definitely improve on. And maybe, if we're being greedy, I'd like to probably see a nice little left back come in as well.
That's where you're at. Go.
My preferred lineup then, I think it's got to be a 4-3-3, the classic Dean Smith, you know the drill, with one defensive midfielder. Martinez in goal, maybe Matty Cash at right back. I like Freddie Gilbert, but you've spent 16 million on Matty Cash, he's going to start. Konsa and Mings at the back, decent centre-back pairing, Matty Target at left-back, Douglas Luiz pulling the strings at central midfield, defensive midfield, reserve spot in midfield with McGinn and maybe another midfielder. At the moment, you'd start Horahan, but we might be looking at another midfielder, who knows. Ollie Watkins obviously up top, Rashika on the left, Traore on the right. If the rumours are true, that's what I'd be looking for.
4-3-3 is probably still the ideal formation for us going into the season. With the players that we've been linked with and the ones that we're about to buy or have already brought, you'd probably be wanting, on my ideal lineup, that won't be for the first game, but is something we could probably work towards, would be Martinez, Target, Konsa, Ming, either Cash or Gilbert. I've got no preference on either really. Luiz, McGinn, Grealish in the middle, and then have Traore if that goes through, and also Rashika out wide. They both pull through, and then Watkins straight through the middle. If Rashika doesn't come through, you'd have to play Trezeguet, I think. Yeah, 4-3-3.
I think Dean Smith will stick with the 4-3-3. I think that's what he sees. That's where he sees us going forward. And I wouldn't disagree with him there. I think the pursuit of 2 wingers seems to me like he would put Jack back into the central midfield alongside McGinn and Luiz. I think that's where Jack prefers playing. And I think that's where you'll see him back. I think if we can get Traore and possibly Rashida over the line, I think that's what you will probably see. So yeah, I think obviously Watkins up front, it'd be your 2 wingers. Your midfield 3 of obviously Luiz, McGinn and Grealish, and then your back 4 sort of picks itself. You've got obviously Cash on one side with Target on the other side, and then Mings and Konsa, and then Martinez in goal. I think that would be your strongest 11 if we get those deals over the line.
So ideal lineup, I feel like we're going to stick to what we had last season. I think it's going to be more of a 4-3-3 or 4-5-1. My lineup for Sheffield United would probably be Martinez in goal, Ming and Konsa centre-backs, Cash and Target. I feel like we'll have Douglas Luiz holding, Hourahan and McGinn in the centre, Jack on the left, Trez on the right, and I think we'll go with Watkins up front. I do see Jack going more centrally. If we can get these 2 top-class wingers in, I think that'll definitely improve our team.
Going down a bumpy hillside, and your hip.
Dean Smith is an attacking manager. We knew that when we got him in last season. There was an interview I think him and Purslow did after the playoff final where they were like, you know, we're going to try and win every single game. You know, Dean Smith plays this attacking football. That's what we're going to do in the Premier League. I think that was slightly naive. I don't think we fully respected how strong the Premier League was. But a year of Premier League football under the belt of the coaching team, the majority of the players, it's going to be massive. I think we're gonna have learned a lot last season, especially Dean Smith. He's going to learn a lot. So I think, yes, obviously we're still going to try and play the attacking football that Dean Smith likes. But yeah, definitely that's the case.
In terms of Smith and his style, his attacking, passing, flowy football was a lot more clear in the Championship. We had to kind of dig in a little bit more in the Premier League as we were getting picked off really easily. We had a lot of mistakes in us. But I think slowly he's going to try, and with the players that we're bringing in as well, he's slowly going to try and bring his way back, and we will become a lot more comfortable attacking and with the strikers that we've got, we'll score more goals and stuff like that.
I think he learned a lot of lessons from last season. I think we went into the season quite naive, to be honest, and I think he felt we could play the same football we did in the Championship and get away with it in the Premier League. And I think it's quite a tactic you see quite often, to be honest with you, from teams that are promoted, and it doesn't normally go that well. I mean, you saw this weekend just gone how West Brom, Leeds and Fulham all conceded 3 or more goals in their fixtures this weekend. So there is quite a bit of a step up, and I think when we started the season last year, I think we tried to carry on what we're doing in the Championship. We struggled to keep the goals from going in the net, and I think that was a problem. And then obviously Project Restart came, and we had obviously worked during the lockdown period on our defensive structure, which really worked. It was a tough year. It was a really tough year for Villa last season. I think Dean Smith would have learnt a lot from it, and I'm hoping that we sort of approached the new season with the sort of obviously strong defensive setup we had at the back end of last season.
I do see some changes. I think we're going to have grown and learnt from last season. I think defensively we're going to be a lot tighter again. And I think attacking wise, we're just going to have a lot more confidence. I think the confidence and the belief is going to be better this season. We're an established Premier League team now. We're going to grow on that. We're going to build. We're going to have the confidence. And we're not going to sort of have that relegation zone hanging over us. I think we should have the belief to climb that table and to grow as a team and to just fulfil everybody's potential in the team, really.
In your hippie hat, fly.
Obviously, fans aren't allowed back in stadiums. Horrible. I don't think we're going to be back at Villa Park. I don't know, because people are talking about October, but in terms of a full Villa Park, it's going to be a very, very long time, which is really, really sad. But I think, Villa do rely a lot on the whole end. The fans at Villa Park, we've got one of the best fan bases in the country. So it's not going to help Villa, let's be honest. But I think, the more you do it, the more you get used to it. At the end of the day, we got 8 points from the last 4 games when we had no fans last season. So it's not the end of the world. But as fans ourselves, it's horrible. And personally, I can't wait to be back at Villa Park.
Going into the season without fans is going to be a big miss. Villa obviously pride themselves a lot off home support, so without them we might struggle a little bit, but obviously we adapted a lot since lockdown, and once we got used to it, we started playing football, started getting the results, and obviously stayed up. Yes, it will impact us, but obviously it impacts everyone, so we might all be in the same boat, I guess.
I think it will impact Villa season, but I don't think it'll impact Villa season any more than any of the other clubs. It's a difficult one. It's horrible, isn't it? I think we all want to be back there as soon as we possibly can. Watching games behind closed doors, it's not what we want to be doing, and there is that missing element. While you're glad football's back, it's just not the same, is it? And we're all desperate to go back. I think the players do perform slightly differently. In some cases, it's better for teams. It can sometimes have an effect, but then there's times at Villa Park last season, especially in games like Watford in the league and Leicester in the cup, where you think the Villa fans got the team over the line on those nights, and so hopefully we can do that, and hopefully we can have a successful season.
It's a real annoyance again. I know it's COVID, but I'd love to be back there, and I do think it does hinder us at times not being at Villa Park. Having that 12th man jeering the team on, kicking into the whole 10. There's no better sight for it. So hopefully that's not a problem for us. But, I feel like we did okay at the end of last season. The last 10 games, we had some real good wins towards the end. So just build on that and take that into this season.
Flying across the country.